Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that shapes all of our lives, often in ways we don't even see. We're going to try and unravel this incredibly complex and honestly fascinating thing we call luck.
So let's just ask it outright. What is it? Is it some kind of mystical force that guides our fate? Is it all just the result of a cosmic coin toss? Or is it something we can actually influence? Let's find out.
You know, for millennia, humans have been trying to get a handle on luck, to somehow influence it. And that brings us to ancient symbols like this one, the Nazar Bongo, or the evil eye bead. You'll see this all over the Mediterranean, and its roots go all the way back to ancient Sumeria. It's way more than just a pretty decoration. It's like a shield, a piece of ancient psychology we still use to ward off bad vibes.
And of course, in Western cultures, we've got the four-leaf clover. Its power really comes from just how incredibly rare it is, right? Finding one feels like the universe just tapped you on the shoulder for a moment of good fortune. They say each leaf stands for something: hope, faith, love, and that fourth, super elusive one, luck.
And then you have the Hamsa hand. What's so cool about this symbol is just how universal it is. You'll find it in Jewish, Muslim, and Christian traditions. It really speaks to this shared, deep human desire for a protective hand to push away evil and, guide us toward good fortune.
Okay, so here's how we're going to tackle this. To really get what luck is, we're going to peel it back layer by layer. We'll start with those ancient symbols and our need for control. Then we'll dive into the illusions our own minds cook up. From there, we'll look at the social lottery. Yep, that's a thing. Then see what science says, and finally we'll get to the really exciting part: how you might just be able to make your own luck.
So let's start with that first layer. This is all about our ancient, really deep human need to feel like we have some kind of say in a world that, let's be honest, often feels totally chaotic and unpredictable.
See, these symbols aren't just simple superstitions. They are seriously powerful psychological tools. And this gets us to a core idea: the illusion of control. It's this funny little quirk in our brains, this tendency to think we can steer things that are completely 100% random. Like a gambler blowing on dice thinking it'll actually help.
All right, let's peel back that next layer and see how this actually works inside our heads. Our brains are literally hardwired with these mental shortcuts that create the experience of luck even when there's nothing there.
And what's so fascinating here is how our brain plays these little tricks on us. The illusion of control, that's what makes you think wearing your lucky jersey actually helps your team win. And the gambler's fallacy. That's a big one. It's that little voice in your head that says, okay, the coin landed on tails 5 times in a row. Heads is definitely next. It feels so real, but it's just not true.
So here's the thing, right? This belief in luck, it's a total double-edged sword. If you see yourself as a lucky person, it can actually become a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're more confident, you spot more opportunities. But if you blame everything on bad luck, you can get trapped in this victim mindset, feeling like you have no power at all to change things.
Now let's zoom out from our own minds for a second and look at the bigger picture, at society. Because a huge chunk of what we call luck is decided by something we have absolutely zero control over: the circumstances we're born into.
We all love the story of a meritocracy, that the hardest working, most talented people always win. But let's be real, a lot of the time, that's just an illusion. I mean, even someone like Bill Gates, he benefited from an incredible amount of luck, being in the right place at the exact right time, with access to resources that almost no one else had.
And just look at this number. It is absolutely staggering. In the United States, the chance a child has of earning more than their parents did has plummeted from over 90% back in 1980 to just 50% today. 50%. Just let that sink in for a second.
And that right there illustrates the point perfectly. A 50% chance, that's literally a coin toss. It means your economic future is now almost as much about the lottery of who your parents are as it is about your own hard work. The social lottery isn't just a metaphor anymore, it's becoming a statistical reality.
So, if luck isn't just in our heads or in our society, what is it on a fundamental level? Okay, so let's get down to the absolute core of reality and see what physics and philosophy have to say about it.
You've probably heard this famous quote from Albert Einstein. He believed the universe was deterministic, that everything happens for a reason in a perfect, predictable chain of cause and effect. So in that worldview, there's no such thing as real randomness, which means luck is just what we call the causes we haven't figured out yet.
But hold on, what if that's not the whole story? What if the universe, even if it follows a set of rules, is just fundamentally unpredictable for us?
And that's where something like chaos theory steps in. You've heard of the butterfly effect, right? A tiny, tiny change at the beginning of a process can lead to huge, totally unforeseen results down the line. So what we call luck, it might just be our name for that chaos, an outcome we couldn't possibly predict because we can't know every single one of those tiny starting variables.
Okay, wow. So we've looked at ancient symbols, brain biases, the social lottery, and even the fabric of the universe itself. So after all that, what does this mean for us? How can we actually use this? Let's put it all together.
Well, there's this great research by a psychologist, Dr. Richard Wiseman, who studied people who consider themselves lucky. And what he found was that they weren't magical. Turns out they just share a few key habits. They're more open to new experiences, they talk to more people, they trust their gut feelings, and they generally expect good things to happen. Basically, they create more opportunities for good fortune to find them.
So, when you boil it all down, luck isn't just one thing, is it? It's this wild mix of pure random chance, the coin toss, the powerful mindset you bring to the table, that self-fulfilling prophecy, the social circumstances you were born into, and this is the crucial part, the actions you decide to take every single day.
And that leaves us with one final question to really chew on. Is luck some random wave in the ocean that just tosses us around? Or is it more like the wind, something we can't control, but we can always adjust our sails?